What has your systems detected most often? Is it people driving the wrong way? Is it like, I'm just curious, anecdotally speaking, what is the most frequent incident that you guys capture on camera?
Oh, man.
It's just bizarre.
So frequency, I would probably say like congestion.
Okay.
And that happens way more than it ever should. But in terms of like interesting detections, congestion's not interesting. Slow speeds aren't interesting, right? They're just problems that we all have to deal with. But in terms of interesting detections, a lot of wrong way drivers, especially mainline wrong way drivers, once they've actually made it onto the highway or the tollway.
Right.
And then pedestrians trying to walk either across the tollway or along the tollway.
Oh, no.
Really?
For whatever reason.
Wow.
And then stuff falling off of vehicles. The amount of like mattresses and chairs that have fallen out of the back of pickup trucks is just astounding to me. Just giant pieces of plywood falling off the top of cars. Just really interesting.
It sounds like TrafficVision should have a supplementary service, so like bungee cords, like like you just sell those in mass as you get on the highway. But this episode is brought to you by CSG. CSG's SaaS solutions optimize every step of the tolling journey, from billing and payments to customer engagement, helping agencies maximize revenue through smarter, more integrated experiences. Make more, save more, and do more. Visit csgi.com.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Toll Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Kalie Jakovics.
And I'm Alex Fakeri.
And today we have a very special guest who won a contest, Josh Kissel, Customer Success Manager at TrafficVision. Josh, we're so happy to have you on today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. We're super happy to have you here and learn a little bit more about you, about TrafficVision as well. And, we actually met Josh at IBTTA Annual over in Denver, and he entered our contest at our Toll Talk booth. He tagged us on social, snapped a photo, all of that. So thank you for doing that. We're glad that you had a chance to come on our show. So.
Well, I have to ask a question, Josh. So when you put your name, like you entered your information to win, did you think you'd win? Or are you one of those people that win all the time? Or like what do you think
question.
your chances were?
Less than zero. Is that an option? It's really funny because so Kalie and I were neighbors. My booth was next to her booth, and just being a friendly neighbor, I said, "Oh, hey, I really like Toll Talk. Let me go and enter this contest." And then this happened, and I really did not expect that. I'm gonna be honest. So if I seem a bit nervous, that's why.
Yeah, oh no, you're a natural, natural. So we met at IBTTA. I mean, do you go to the events often? Tell me a little bit how involved you are with IBTTA.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So as a company, we try to attend 2 or 3 of the different IBTTA events every year. Personally, I've been going for maybe 3 or 4 years now, something like that. And mostly it's the annual conference, which is always a blast. And then the tech conference, because we're a technology company, so we kind of have to be at that one.
Yeah.
And then the operations and maintenance summit as well. And all 3 of them have been just absolutely amazing to attend and to see people speak at and to get to meet and kind of interact with the different tollways and the different partners that are there. As far as kind of getting involved with IBTTA, I'm beginning to be getting more involved in IBTTA. I recently joined the Young Professionals committee.
That's right.
Yes, thanks and that's because Kalie was like, hey, you should join this. So I did. And I signed up right there. And yeah, just trying to be a little bit more involved with kind of what they're doing and their mission and outside of, getting to play pickleball at their annual conference.
Oh yeah.
So you did play?
I got to play pickleball.
Okay.
I lost in the pool round. We played against the finals winner, and
Okay.
I think they beat us 15-2, something like that. So I was really proud of those 2 points.
But you're very competitive because I was there and I saw it. So you played well. Kudos to you for that.
Thank you. It was really funny. So last year at the pickleball tournament, I ended up getting paired with this random person who I'd never met before.
Right.
And we ended up hitting it off and we became really good friends. And so this year we purposefully paired ourselves up again. So within 2 years, within our 2 tournaments, I think that we've won 2 games and lost 8. But it's a really fun time to actually just get to play with these people. And
yeah,
I think that's kind of what makes IBTTA so fun is that you actually get to connect with people and get to build these fun relationships where you end up playing pickleball with each other every year.
That's awesome. So, we're, it's funny because right around our corner, we have a pickleball court, like just down the street from here. It's a big indoor one. It's pretty cool, but,
Pickle Rage.
Yeah. Pickle Rage. That's right. I love going there, but, so it's close to our home, but, speaking of home, where's your home? Like, where do you reside?
Thanks for asking. So I've lived all over the place, all over the U.S. Currently, I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and have been here for almost 2 years now.
Okay.
And it's been really great, especially in the fall when all the leaves change and it's just incredibly pretty. And the winters are incredibly brutal. So just a heads up.
No, that's good. Now, but TrafficVision itself is based out of South Carolina. Do I have that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're based out of Clemson, South Carolina.
Okay.
They mandate that I say it with an accent.
Yeah,
it's in my contract.
I love that.
Well, I was just saying, so you do have a warm area to go to if you ever want to really get out of there, right?
A 3-month stint down at the office. And,
there you go.
For the cold months and then come back.
So
that's honestly a pretty good idea.
So how did you get to TrafficVision? How did you make your way there?
Yeah. So, oh man. So I wasn't in tolling at all or anything to do with tolling before TrafficVision.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of fun. Just bringing a different perspective to it. I got my degree in geography, which has again nothing to do with tolling or with technology.
This is how it starts, though.
No
one ever knows that they were going to be in tolling or transportation.
And they suck you in. They're so good at it. They're like, come to these cool conferences, play pickleball, it's fun. So I ended up when I was living in South Carolina, I found this company, TrafficVision, and they needed some help doing some training and doing customer outreach and kind of moving their product along and kind of because they were growing at the time. They're still growing, but they were experiencing a kind of big amount of growth there. So they needed some people to kind of come and help. And Clemson, South Carolina is a really small town. It's like 2,000 people outside of the university, something like that. So that was the job that I found.
Okay.
And I've been doing it ever since. I think I've been there almost 8 years at this point.
Okay. Well, very nice. For those listening, watching, tell us a little bit about TrafficVision, what you guys do. And then I really would like to hear, kind of what does your role look like for that customer success manager?
Yeah. Man. So TrafficVision. So we really, really briefly, we provide video analytics for automatic incident detection is kind of the biggest, easiest way to say it. So So what TrafficVision does is it's a piece of software that watches all of the cameras all at once with the operators and then alerts them if there's some anomaly. If there's a crash, if there's congestion, if there's something that they should probably look at.
Right.
And so what I do for TrafficVision is, I call it customer success management. It's really just making sure that the customers understand what they need in order to get TrafficVision or to use TrafficVision, and then implementing it. So kind of starting at the very first part of everything of, hi, my name's Josh. This is what TrafficVision is. You've never used it before, all the way through installation, implementation, training. I'm our lead trainer as well. So I train all of the operators how to use the software.
Very cool.
And then kind of going into operations, checking in, making sure everything works, troubleshooting stuff, all of that.
Gotcha.
Okay. So Josh, thanks for like kind of digging into that. So I guess the question I have is, what was the original problem in vision for TrafficVision, pardon the pun, that what were you trying to originally solve, and how's it evolved over time? I mean, obviously, when you're capturing that, I mean, where did it all start at?
Yeah. I don't ever get to tell this story, so this is fun. So basically, the idea came out of a at the time PhD students in computer science. They were going to Clemson University, Clemson, South Carolina, and they got paired up with this civil engineering professor who does a lot with roadway design and civil engineering. So they got paired up and decided that they were going to try to use video to count vehicles and make it incredibly simple. And, here is a flat, straight road.
Right.
Here's a video camera. Can you count, the vehicles as they go through here, in testing, right? Just like in a very controlled environment. And then once they were able to kind of do that, then it turned into, well, can you tell if a vehicle stops? Or can you tell if there's multiple vehicles stopping and then that's congestion? And can you tell if a vehicle was supposed to be going one way, but now it's driving the wrong way? And so it just kind of evolved from there. And over time, different features have been added and, things like that, so that you're kind of evolving with what the operators and what the traffic management centers need to kind of move forward with their normal basic daily jobs. So it came out of a university and kind of spun out of that, is to answer your question.
That's
Gotcha.
awesome.
So I guess your key, organizations that you're working with, it's agencies, it's DOTs. Is there anybody else?
So yes. So we work a lot with tollways, a lot with state departments of transportation.
Right.
And then we do some things with freight ports as well.
Oh, okay.
So
that makes sense.
if they want to know, how much queuing is happening with their trucking, we'll work with them on that as well. But mostly it's tollways, expressways, state DOTs.
Okay, I figured so.
Now a message from our sponsor.
The business of tolling is complex. Trusted by the world's most respected brands, CSG transforms every customer interaction, communications, billing, payments, and more into a smarter, more profitable outcome. Make more, save more, do more. CSG, solving tolling's toughest challenges simply.
Okay. And so just to be kind of clear, when you're talking about video analytics, right? So it's detecting, but then what does it do? Like, okay, so it detects a car going the wrong way, or, a number of vehicles, and I'm sure, more, but like, so what does it do when it captures that moment?
Yeah. So sometimes that's up to the agency.
Okay.
So most of the time, they want to know about it, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're a tollway, or an express lane. I mean, express lanes, I feel like, are really benefited by this because they their whole thing is that they're better to use than the main lanes. So
Sure.
if you can know about a stoppage of, vehicle stopping, if you can know about, debris that's slowing down your roadway,
Right.
if you can know about that type of thing faster, you can get it cleared faster.
Okay.
So typically, TrafficVision will detect it, and then it sends an alert. And the operators receive an alert through a variety of different ways. Most of the time, it's integrated into some larger ecosystem in the traffic management center. But it can also be standalone, and some people have used it as standalone as well. But they'll get an alert, and then they get to do their normal standard operating procedure of, oh, there is a crash, let me do XYZ.
Yeah.
But they find out about it way faster than just waiting for someone to call them. So once it kind of detects, it sends an alert, and then you get to decide what to do with that alert as an operator.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I assume there's obviously a lot of AI involved in this. I guess, can you talk a little bit about, maybe not, a little bit about that, or how it's evolving into that? Just such a hot topic right now.
That it is such a hot topic, such a buzzword.
AI.
So,
AI.
right.
Tell us.
Once you put AI in like a title of anything, then you're automatically in. Right?
Yeah, right?
And anyway, so it depends what you mean by AI, but yes. So like most people now kind of think about AI as more of like a ChatGPT, where you ask it questions and it tells you answers, right? The kind of broader sense of AI from, the 1940s, 1950s, back when it was kind of first being figured out, was this, human-like situation. So you have a robot, it has, sensors, whether that's eyes or ears or virtual eyes or ears. And then it also has some type of brain, which would be something like a ChatGPT, right? Where it's processing language and then telling you what it does. So we're kind of the sensory part of that. So we're using, machine vision, which is a subset of AI, some would say. And then on top of that, we're actually using more AI to kind of validate some of the machine vision decisions. So, if it detects a stopped object, or if TrafficVision detects a stopped object, then an AI model can then look at that image and see, is this actually a stopped object? Is this actually a vehicle? Or
right, it's kind of like a checking system.
Is it a raindrop on the lens that somebody doesn't actually care about? So it's just kind of validating what's being detected. So it's more of a layer on top of the original computer vision.
Gotcha.
So would you say that tool is more of like a complement to your human operators? And so I assume there's so much to process, so much to evaluate, but you still need that human validation, right? So
exactly. Yes.
Augmented humans here is really what we're getting to.
Right. Trying to make decisions faster for the humans involved.
Very good. Now, I do have to ask a very important question. What has your systems detected most often? Is it people driving the wrong way? Is it like, I'm just curious, anecdotally speaking, what is the most frequent incident that you guys capture on camera?
Oh, man.
It's just bizarre.
So frequency, I would probably say like congestion.
Okay.
And that happens way more than it ever should. But in terms of like interesting detections, congestion's not interesting. Slow speeds aren't interesting, right? They're just problems that we all have to deal with. But in terms of interesting detections, a lot of wrong way drivers, especially mainline wrong way drivers, once they've actually made it onto the highway or the tollway.
Right.
And then pedestrians trying to walk either across the tollway or along the tollway.
Oh, no.
Really?
For whatever reason.
Wow.
And then stuff falling off of vehicles. The amount of like mattresses and chairs that have fallen out of the back of pickup trucks. is just astounding to me. Just giant pieces of plywood falling off the top of cars. Just really, really
Wow.
interesting.
It sounds like TrafficVision should have a supplementary service, so like bungee cords, like like you just sell those in mass as you get on the highway. But wow, that's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
the biggest benefit is that incident detection, right up front. I mean, do you have any any way you can quantify that, or any success stories that you can share?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say, one, it's really difficult to quantify, like, we detected this, so you did something about it, instead of, we don't know what would have happened if we didn't, right? But typically, we end up detecting incidents something like 4 to 15 minutes faster than the normal operations.
Okay.
That's impressive.
So you're saving time, saving lives, saving money, like.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you can, if it's a very severe crash, if you can get an ambulance to the scene 4 minutes faster,
Oh yeah,
that's
Critical.
that's huge.
Yeah.
And then for all the other incident types, is the faster you find out about these things, the faster you can clear them. Especially like what you said about money, about saving money. The cost of congestion is just like absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
So clearing congestion, or at least knowing about congestion, so then you can make decisions based on that, is super helpful for the tollways.
Okay. What would you say is like a big misconception between the agencies when they start to adopt this automation? Like what is the big number one misnomer you have to address?
Yeah. That's my job.
Okay.
It's like,
so we're talking to the right
addressing
person.
the
Yes.
misconceptions.
Okay.
So I see a lot of them. I would say something like thinking that this is going to solve all of your problems and that you never need operators anymore. One, it's not going to solve, and like, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but it's not going to solve all your problems.
Yeah.
It will help with a lot of them, but it won't solve all.
Yeah.
And two, like this is not the far future where like machines are making decisions and it's like 100% of the time, right? So it's not Minority Report, it's not Terminator, it's not anything like that. There's no thought police that are doing anything like that. It's more just like we're trying to push the edge of what's happening now, and get to use kind of the cameras that you guys already have to make them better, smarter, faster.
Okay. So nobody can say that it manipulated the images to see a car going in a different direction or somebody walking in there. So
Exactly.
we're analyzing data, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
It's all data. And we're just communicating one piece of data to another piece of data.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, speaking of data, I mean, how is TrafficVision supporting toll authorities with vehicle volume counts and toll collection validation?
Yeah. So there's kind of a lot going on with that. So the nice part is that in basically any portion of your agency, there is some way that video analytics can help. It may not be our video analytics. We may not do something that you do want to do. That's completely fine. But there is some way it can help. So in terms of back office things, especially for, traffic engineers, traffic planning, toll validation, that type of thing. Like I said, originally we were designed to count vehicles. So we're pretty okay at counting vehicles. So basically, what we're able to do is set up a camera on a tollway gantry, and then count the vehicles as they're kind of going through the gantry, and then validate those numbers that we get versus the amount of tolls collected.
Nice.
So your back office can then say, okay, we were within
98%.
X%.
Yeah.
We're feeling pretty good versus, man, one of these systems is way off. So that's kind of the back end tolling part of it. And then obviously being able to count numbers and being able to then present them to whatever amount of money that you're going after, whatever grants you're going after, then you can basically say, hey, we had this amount of people on our tollway.
Right.
We're projecting X, Y, Z. Yeah.
We saw this amount of growth in the past 5 years. We expect even more. Helps you get more money, basically. And then, you know, designing the roadway to accommodate what's actually there.
Gotcha. Sorry, so quick question. Are you guys national or international? Who are you? Where are your regions?
Yeah. So we are international.
Very nice.
Mostly working in the US and Canada.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, great. And so now you're saving lives, you're counting
money.
numbers and saving money, which I guess, you know, puts the money where it needs to be and the time and the resources where it needs to be more effective, right? You know, so that's great. But I guess I'm kind of curious, you're capturing all this data. You can help the agencies analyze and forecast, honestly, so much more accurately. But have you had any, when you talk to everybody, I would assume that this data has been affirmed to you that it helps you with planning and infrastructure investment. I mean, is that just an assumption I'm making, or is that actually true?
True.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's been, you know, validated, and we have outside agencies double check everything and all of that. So making sure that what we're saying is true instead of just saying it. And then, outside of that, I would say, you know, in terms of data, just having the raw numbers to be able to, you know, express those however the agency needs is also incredibly helpful.
Well, you know, you said something earlier as well, because you're part of a bigger ecosystem, right? You're interacting with other checks and balances and systems. So I guess, how do you integrate with existing with TMC, you know, technologies and workflows? Like, what's your strategy for that?
Yeah, I would say it's all about coordination and cooperation and communication. Just a lot of C words. Communication, coordination, cooperation. So it's just making sure that the humans are talking to each other so that the machines can talk to each other. So most of the time we end up tying into a ATMS inside of the traffic management center. And so, you know, they have this basically one-stop piece of software that controls cameras, controls dynamic messaging signs, controls gates, controls everything, right? We are one tiny piece of that feeds in. And so our software is able to talk to that and basically say, hey, there's a stopped vehicle on this camera in this lane, populate a pop-up that inside of this ATMS that then the operators can look at. So that's kind of the easiest thing, so that you're not looking at 400 different tabs all at once. You just have one big screen, and we tie into that one big screen.
Okay, very nice. Well, this has been very informative. I loved having you on. We have a few more minutes left, so I do want to ask you a couple more questions here. But, I mean, with your expertise, what would you say is kind of next up and coming for video analytics?
Yeah. Oh, man. There's so much cool stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine with
I just want to know, like, are you be counting the hairs on my chin, as I drive by people with beards and then giving that feedback to the agencies and they market to me better? I don't know.
You're going to get a lot more funny razor ads now.
Yeah, that's good.
There's so much up and coming in video analytics, specifically for transportation. And this is, you know, outside of some of the things that we do, there's video analytics that's specifically for finding faults in pavements for bridges or tunnels or roadways, right? So you can have someone drive across the entire roadway, it maps the entire thing and finds all the cracks and finds the difference in cracks. There's video analytics that I'm sure you guys know about where they read license plates and then they're able to toll you through that.
Right.
That's a really big one. And then just kind of getting everyone getting better at it,
Yeah.
which is really helpful too.
Well, that's really exciting because I'm thinking like, detecting potholes, right? I mean, those are huge. I've hit potholes that were so bad they bent the rim,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
And it's an insurance claim. It's an insurance claim against whatever agency or situation. I don't know if I've told you this. I was driving under a bridge and a part of the concrete from the bridge fell
What?
and hit the top of my car, but right between the windshield and then the sunroof. So it was in that frame section. But that rock caused tons of damage to the car. And so, yeah, those are claims. So, yeah, that's a huge thing. I mean, that's pretty neat. Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming there. So, anyway, so tell us a little bit now, where can listeners go? And I definitely want to thank you for being on the show as well today. And so if people want to learn more about TrafficVision or get in touch with their team, who should they go contact? Where should they go?
Yeah. So first off, thanks for having me on. I really loved it. Really just love you guys.
We love you too.
Thanks. In terms of where you can go, I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me there. And then TrafficVision.com is the easiest way to get in contact with us. And we answer every email that comes in through there, and can help your agency do whatever it is that they're trying to do.
That's awesome.
All right.
All right.
Well, great. Well, we'll be sure to share your, information on LinkedIn as well as the company website. So if there's any further questions. And again, we thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, Josh, it was truly a pleasure. Thank you for being here and joining us today.
Thank you guys so much.
All right. Well, for all our viewers and listeners, this is another great episode of Toll Talk. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.